Teaching to the test is when the focus of instruction is on what students are going to be uh, uh, assessed on, rather than the learning that the student should be experiencing.
Teaching to the test is when you focus your lectures and teaching material on how to answer test questions correctly.
Is it like you have a test and you know it's on it, so you teach them what's going to be on the test so they can pass the test, right?
Teaching to the test is, in my experience, has always been where the teacher basically will just review the test and the concepts, and they're basically teaching the students how to take the test so that they'll do good, and then the teachers basically don't get fired.
Good question.
I have no idea.
I think teaching to the test is when a teacher doesn't really dig as deeply as she can or he into the content to teach kids like actually learn the material, where she's really focused on just getting the test scores in the end that will help her to him or her to succeed.
Teaching the test is like when the teacher prepares the material for class based on what's going to be on the test.
Not at the higher education level, because I have control over those. But when I was an elementary school teacher, I did.
I experienced it more in like high school, middle school, elementary school type of thing. Well, especially with like the standardized tests, like PAC tests and things. They're like, oh, we've got to teach you this because it's on the test, but I think that's about it.
Yeah, like the math teachers, I felt like they were always so stressed about getting through all the material that'd be needed for the test, and so they would just like speed through everything, and then they wouldn't really have enough time to teach it.
Like every class. Okay.
Probably in like middle, high school, or even elementary school, I think it like becomes more common when teachers are more stressed to like meet the standards.
Great. Yeah, I've had a lot of teachers that pretty much only teach you what they need to teach you based on what they're going to put on the test.
Not a chance, under any circumstances, is teaching to the test valuable, in my opinion.
Maybe if what's on the test is like important to know, but then again, you just really memorize what's going to be on the test, and you don't really remember it after that.
I do not. I think it is not allowing teachers to teach.
I feel like it can leave out a lot of information that could be used in like life outside of the classroom.
I don't think so. I think students need to learn to think more critically and like know information more instead of just memorizing things so that they can pass tests.
No, because I feel like instead of preparing you for what you're going to need to know in the real world, it's just preparing you to get an A on the test and then an A in the class, and that's not an effective way to learn.
I think that students learning by doing is way more effective and efficient than students learning by memorizing.
Yes, because you can't elaborate or use other teaching styles if you're focused on teaching to the answers.
I think that in like this kind of situation like college, it's hard to have creativity, and especially because I'm in big lecture classes, so you don't really have creativity in the classroom anyways.
I think so in the student and in the teacher.
Yes, I think that this is going to be on the test, so this is all you have to know, and so students stop caring.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like if that's all that the teacher's goal is in the classroom, then you're inhibiting the student's ability to really express themselves and apply what they've learned on a deeper level.
Comprehensive understanding of the information. I feel like that's the whole point of going to a class.
I think it's more important to understand the information, because if you are just attempting to get a good grade and just memorizing information for 1 week, then it's going to be gone, and you're not going to like have that information for later on in life when it might pop up.
No, I think it's absolutely better to understand what you've learned instead of get a high test score, because there are classes that I've gotten A's in that I don't feel like I learned much in, and classes that I've not gotten A's in. I feel like at least I can, I still understand that material.
Scared that I'd look like a fool, not rather quit than risk.
They could do classroom activities and use other teaching styles that might not be as focused on just test questions and knowing how to answer them.
I think a lot of it is in the way they teach it. Maybe if they teach it in a way that's you remember the material more and actually understand it rather than just memorizing it. But I don't really know how to go about that.
I think if the tests, if they maybe lowered like how many standards were required for those tests, and then just like let the teachers maybe even like instead of having like multiple choice questions, have more like free response that make the teachers like enforce them to write or something like that. Just maybe lay off the guidelines a little bit and let the teachers get creative with their curriculum a little bit.
They can interact with the students and allow, I don't know, this one's a hard one.
You can still follow a curriculum and add to it. That's not that outlandish, depending on the course that you're taking.
I think it takes a lot of work, but they have to just like expand on everything and make learning fun in a way that they like bring in other things so that students associate the things that are on the test with other things in their life or like previous
I think the
knowledge.
teacher's goal should be to present as much applicable material as they can to what the concept that they're trying to introduce, and then base their testing methods off of the material that they've taught rather than base the material they're going to teach on a test.